The revelations about Hockey Canada's handling of sex assault allegations has prompted shock, outrage, and even admonishment from the Prime Minister. And now we're getting an idea of the impact on Canadians. So among the findings of a new Nanos poll, 73% of Canadians feel anger over Hockey Canada's use of the registration fund to settle sex abuse allegations. The scandal has also led to a negative impression on the sport in 41% of Canadians and a negative impression of hockey players in 47%, almost half of the country. And 6 in 10 Canadians have no confidence in Hockey Canada's current leadership. Now, the margin of error in this poll is 3.1 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. But we need to talk more about the poll now, so let's bring in pollster Nick Nanos. You conducted this poll. You sort of did the findings here. What stood out to you the most about the sort of level of anger that Canadians have towards Hockey Canada?
You know, a lot of times, Nick, when we're doing surveys, there's a little bit of nuance. But in this particular case, it's absolutely cut and dry. What's very clear is that Canadians are angry over the use of registration fees to try to settle the sexual assault allegations. And there's no confidence in Hockey Canada. You know, the reality is, I think for average Canadians, they probably think that whoever gave Hockey Canada advice to try to settle this should be fired.
It has been kind of baffling, right, to watch some of the testimony in front of those parliamentary committees from the Hockey Canada leadership, which, according to your poll, most Canadians think needs to be completely gone.
Yeah, and you know, the other interesting thing about the survey is that when we look at different levels of hockey, like recreational hockey and the NHL and what we'll call the feeder system for the NHL, is that people don't think that there's a significant problem when it comes to recreational hockey for boys and girls, but it's that feeder, it's kind of like that one spot that kind of leads to the NHL that is more likely to be seen as a problem. The other thing that's quite striking, and I think this is very important for Hockey Canada and the support and the sport writ large, is that many Canadians feel that this is cultural, that it's systemic, and I think that means that this really has to be tackled head on.
I also noticed there a distinct breakdown, kind of as much as most Canadians, you know, according to your poll, find this, you know, awful. There's a gender breakdown really between men and women. More women seem more upset about this than men. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, the fact of the matter is that everyone's angry about this. A majority of men are angry about it. But the anger meter for women is even higher. You know, so think of it this way. About 60% of men were angry about the use of registration fees to try to settle this. It pops up to like 80%. The other interesting thing is that women are most likely to be negative about encouraging kids to play hockey now as a result of what they're seeing compared to men.
And it's our national winter sport. We've got the World Juniors coming up, you know, later this month in Edmonton. So people are going to be watching this, and they're going to have a sort of tarnished image, I think, according to your poll numbers, even towards the players themselves, to say nothing about the members of the team this year. A lot of these stem back from the 2018 team and teams prior to this. So all this is swirling around, and these polls, you know, portraying players in a negative light. That's our national sport.
Yes, you know. This is a significant issue, and think of it this way: Canada is hockey is part of who we are. You know, Canadians are very proud of the men's and women's hockey, and to have something like this happen is just bewildering for a lot of Canadians, and that's why they're so angry about it.
Was there any sort of good news for Hockey Canada in the polling, in any of your findings?
Well, perhaps the one piece of reasonably good news is that people don't think there's a problem when it comes to recreational hockey, and that's really where most boys and girls are. That it's just one particular part of the hockey system. That's really where the focus should be.
Is this something you've looked at before, sort of Canadians' attitude towards Hockey Canada at all, or is this something because of really what's come to light that you thought, you know what, I wonder where Canadians, you sort of take the pulse of Canadians on this? So can you measure this at all, or is this kind of a new poll, really?
This is an absolutely new poll, and it'll be interesting to see over time whether Hockey Canada and the brand of hockey as a sport can get over this.
Okay, well, certainly we'll have to then bring you back over time and sort of continue to take the pulse and see what it's like, because this, again, is something we're really just kind of getting into, and as these revelations come to light. Nick Nanos, always appreciate the chat. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Take it easy.
Okay, thanks.